Hello and welcome to an actual play podcast of Daemonologie, an upcoming tabletop role-playing game. The game is a work in progress, so rules may change, but the stories will remain. We are back with another second part of episode 2 of our Daemonologie actual play. We are going to be coming straight back in, and so I am rejoined by...
Siobhan. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Tanazart, an investigator.
And me, Fionn. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing Sir Rumpert, a druid.
Hi, I'm Mo. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing a reformed rogue named Eli Sawthorn.
And Felix, I use they, them pronouns, and I play Dr. Jude Chatillon, a reformed rogue.
And I'm Alex. I'm going to be mediuming, and mediuming is just mediuming, and my pronouns are he, they.
It's a fun way to introduce yourself, Alex.
Mediuming is just mediuming. I am the medium. Title medium.
It just sounded quite self-reproachful. I really appreciate what you do, so don't reproach.
Give yourself some more credit.
Please.
Me? Self-reproachful? No, never.
I mustn't, and I would.
Never heard of her. Who is she?
So to come back, earlier we investigated a criminal, Swithin. Second name Elton, which you did not gather just yet, but yeah, go on, have it. Why not?
I mean, Tanazart did ask for his name, he just never answered.
He gave Swithin
some of an answer.
He didn't give Elton.
and then... Which, fair. Why would you say the name was Elton? Sorry to any Eltons out there.
So is his name Elton Swithin or Swithin Elton?
Swithin Elton.
That's better.
Oh, good.
I worried that
Apologies.
it was silly.
Well,
apologies out there if we ever encounter an Elton Swithin.
I don't know. Elton's a clown's name. No offense.
Elton Swithin out there has just turned off the
I'm
podcast.
not trying to talk down to the big man. I just.
The big man, of course, being Elton John.
Yeah, 5'8" Elton John, the big man, and what?
Queen of Disco.
So anyway, moving on. How did the rest of that go for Eli, and his dashing and prancing and sneaking?
Good. Eli swindled some papers that had Oscar's name on it that I'm hoping someone else in the group can do something very helpful with. Because Eli can't.
Oscar, I do know what he smells like, so...
True, we've got caramel still that we still need to investigate.
Him. I can certainly find him.
We have a nighttime activity.
Oh, we do.
We've got so many nighttime activities.
Oh, joy.
So speaking of nighttime activities, we have Rumpert's flirting with the band of Scots.
That went all right for a bit. They liked the dog.
Dog did very well.
They were very, very, very standoffish. They did not like questions about other dead Scotsmen, I suppose. They didn't like questions about the dead Scotsman. So that is suspicious, right? That's suspicious.
A very interesting thing to protest against.
Yeah.
They didn't like questions about dead people.
But they liked that I knew that Rumpert knew something about the Lewis clan. They just didn't like the sniff of his authority, I think. And as we all know, Rumpert is a very authoritative character. He possesses lots of grandeur and such, and commands lots of respect. So yeah, that's suspicious. But also, Rumpert needs some gems, so he's gonna go off with Dog and try and find a gnome. Which all sounds like nonsense.
But no, it's all strictly mechanical.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's there's theory behind this.
We also found out that Jude can't lie anymore.
Jude cannot lie
Yes,
today.
Jude can't lie to... Yeah. in hilarious fashion.
Strangely, one of the only times that Jude has ever wanted to lie.
Yeah, usually
Yeah,
Jude
I
just
sensed-
tells the truth.
Yeah, I sensed that problem. I was like, but Jude's a rogue, so surely there's going to be one instance where there's a lie going to come out that I'm going to be able to halt.
Usually not. Genuinely, I feel like most characters go around just spewing half-truths, but usually whenever I go into a conversation, Jude just says, "This is why we're here, this is what we want. Help."
Yeah, I've played a lot of games with Jude, and that is as medium and as like in the trenches, and that happens all of the time, and it usually works just sort of like this very calm, cool, and collected manner.
The one time it worked perfectly, to everyone's disappointment, was when I approached a camp of bandits that were ailing, and I literally just said, "Hello, I am doctor. I want to heal. Let me." And that was it.
Weren't you dressed as a bush for that?
Yeah,
Yes.
for a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they've got a 3-success disguise, and so they've managed to creep up within a metre of a band of well-armed bandits with tummy aches.
Wow.
And suddenly the bushes spoke to the terror of the bandits.
Claiming you're a doctor while dressed as a bush really adds to the whole thing.
I absolutely love hearing about sessions that I was never a part of, and just the system's wild.
I'd rerun that scenario. We never finished it.
Oh, Rutland?
No, that wasn't Rutland, mate. That was
York?
No, that was Taunton.
Taunton. We never finished Taunton.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just like, what scenario was it? Name an obscure British place.
And everyone goes, ah.
Yes,
yes.
Tintagel.
If people want to know what that is, it's called The Hunter's Hand. I think that was the second one.
That was,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, there is an entire almanac of just British places with very, very strange names.
Yeah.
It's
Very-
each scenario is either referred to as like, the obscure British location, or like our Sherlock Holmes-esque titling.
It befits it. It has the flavour.
It does.
Holmesian, often. Sometimes worse.
Anyway, this is crass to talk about one's the
Achievements.
game that one is playing in such way.
Creating a culture of that. Ooh. It's the first time people are playing it.
Let's return to everybody re-meeting. And discovering each other at the hatchet again.
Right.
Are you going to meet in your rooms, considering Rumpert was carrying Jude as if drunk?
Yeah.
When we enter, I shall ask Marjorie what became of the big man and the grey man.
She leans over the counter and says, "It seems that neither of them could handle their liquor very well."
Of course you did.
I presume that they are in their rooms then.
I hope they're in their own rooms.
Oh, I see you are not joking.
Buggery afoot. Potentially.
She is, how you say, a snitch?
They get how you say le stitch.
Don't massacre Marjorie.
Thank you, Marjorie.
I mean, if Marjorie pisses me off, I can hack her. They will find no traces of her.
I will burn this place to the ground.
There is no disagreement of if you could defeat and dispose of this poor old woman.
To quote Fionn, simply because we can doesn't mean that we should.
But I will think on it.
So, Tanazart and Eli discover Rumpert and Jude in one of the lodgings that you have upstairs.
Okay, and what they find Jude doing is, at this point, probably just sat having a small conversation with a gnome as a pile that has seemingly sprung out of a pile of bloodied earth at his feet.
I'm presuming that you wanted to say Rumpert Umpert and not Jude?
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for that.
Stick to your own character, please.
I will. From now
I found that infinitely more bizarre.
And so there's Rumpert having this conversation with the gnome. The gnome hands over 3 small green gems of irregular cutting, and Rumpert pockets them gladly, shakes its tiny little hand, and it then shrinks back into the dirt, which Rumpert then picks up and kind of scoops into a pouch on his belt.
I like to think that the gnome pulled off their hat and then found the gems within their hat, took a few out, and muttered to themselves a little bit before putting a few back in and finding them non-satisfactory.
But the gems were much bigger than the hat, so it seemed to be pulling it out of non-dimensional space.
Yeah, big fan of that. Big fan.
Is it now nighttime?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, it is 8, 9. It's going on.
Martha's nighttime activity is to tail the Scots people.
Okay. And how about Wallace?
What could we do with an actor? Can he infiltrate?
There is Constantine's shop.
Constantine's shop.
Can we get him to go into Constantine's shop?
So scouting actions rarely go awry. They can't go too wrong. They can't they can not go very right, but they can't go too wrong. It's the other ones that have the capacity to fall apart very easily. So a scouting action is always a relatively safe thing to do with one's agent as a rogue. So yeah, if you want to scout Constantine's shop and sort of see what happens over the night, then that's very fair.
Hell yeah.
Let's give that.
So I believe that is what's Martha's expertise with scouting?
+1.
So that'll be 2 dice from Martha.
Let me double check, please.
And Wallace is just the one, I think.
Oh no.
Considering he is an actor. He is very good at convincing people, but not he's fine at conducting his little scouting missions.
Wallace, please.
Come on, Wallace.
Please.
Yeah.
Ah, classic Wallace.
Wallace has failed dreadfully. Martha has succeeded.
This was expected.
Did Wallace walk into a tree on the way there?
Wallace couldn't find the shop.
He never made it there.
Wallace went to the wrong street.
Just scowled a hattery for hours.
So a benefit, Mo, you're not going to get completely uselessness out of this.
Hey.
So you can pick one of these 3. Of your agent is not spotted, your agent spots something useful, or your agent gains +1 expertise for a future plot against what they have scouted.
Oh.
So he could be obvious and helpful, or he can be unhelpful but
Hidden.
Discreet. So did he go to the wrong shop, or did he go to the right shop very clearly?
I don't know if that would be
Martha,
detrimental.
however, will get all of these.
If Wallace is spotted, I don't think that's going to matter too much.
Yeah, because Wallace hasn't been seen with you yet.
Yeah. So,
And you can just not send him to the same place.
yeah, let's go for something useful.
Okay. So Wallace is going to spot something useful, and Martha is going to spot something useful, get the bonus, and not be seen.
Martha is going to do her job.
While the spying is happening, do we go and steal things? Please.
Please let us steal things.
Please, for me, a little steal.
So yeah, in the morning you'll get Wallace and Martha's reports.
How exciting.
So what's the plan with this
Oldworth?
heist?
Well, we've got to go to...
We're going to find out where he lives.
It was outside of Bristol, wasn't it? Robert?
Robert Oldworth.
Oldworth.
Yeah.
We got him to go steal from. And Jude, was there something else that he wanted to do?
You wanted to change the... he wanted to, place some documents with the Society of Merchant Venturers on... in Robert Aldworth's belongings. to like prove a link. So he just wanted things.
Wasn't it that he had these documents and
he
he
has
needed
the
them to
documents. We
prove?
need to go and get them from him.
Oh right, okay. Well, that might be the case. Well, you
So I
go
would
into
like
the
to
house
do
and
that.
find out whether or not he'll have any, won't you?
Mm-hmm.
I want to break into stuff.
Just get about in it.
Let me steal. Come on.
Ah.
Well, you'll need the documents stolen.
Oh, can I give my stolen documents to?
Well, you can have a read of
party?
them.
Oh, give them to me. That's actually my job.
Amazing. Okay.
So these documents, Tanazart has a look over. You'll see that this is a report from so many notes to go through. Lady Rebecca Chasley to Jenny Morton about an investigation into corruption in the Dockers Union of the Society of the Merchant Venturers. They are looking into Oscar Blinkley as one of the chiefs behind this corruption.
I just typed so incredibly fast.
I could hear.
Well, to find Aldworth's house, as none of us actually know what that looks like.
I mean, Marjorie's been a pool of endless useful information.
Let's ask Marjorie.
Before her hacking, she might be of use again.
We're not going to kill Marjorie.
Don't kill Marjorie.
You can't control me.
We're not. The fire will.
Is this the one thing that Jude and Rumpert will bond over?
Wanting to kill Marjorie.
Rumpert, as I have mentioned on this before, he just wants to spread the love, man. Like, his whole thing is connection and communion.
Well then, setting fire to
Through any
someone's...
means possible.
Through any means possible, he will make you his friend, and you don't really have a huge amount of choice in that.
Even if that's committing arson
I
together.
will be expecting a rotisserie Marjorie at my doorstep.
On his big axe.
So what is... so the plan is to talk to Marjorie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How... who's going to lead this?
Tanazart.
Yep.
Yeah, can't be me.
Couldn't be me, fam.
Marjorie likes Tanazart.
So Tanazart heads downstairs to Marjorie. Oh yeah, because Jude was the joint least
defensive.
But now it's just Tanazart left. So Tanazart, you come across Marjorie. Marjorie's intermittently serving drinks and food to people, and but you're able to get her attention. She says, "Yes. What can I help you with?"
Madam Backworth, first, I will apologise for the conduct of my colleagues.
Oh, well, thank you. You seem to have interesting company. That's all I'll say.
I tend to find stray.
Well, what can I do for you? You're looking for dinner.
Oh, yes. And perhaps... Do you know a Mr. Aldworth?
Can you make a networks test, please? This is not so much as to see if she's willing to give you the information, but if she knows it.
She knows!
Yeah. Perfectly successful. So she is happy to divulge information about Robert Aldworth. She gives you a little bit of information about how he's a very wealthy fellow. He's starting to make sort of himself known as an important individual of Bristol. And he lives in Barrow Gurney, to the south side of Bristol.
I
British
know Barrow
names.
Gurney. I'm terrified by the fact that Mo, you know Bristol, as I'm just on Google Maps searching around Bristol for things.
Barrow Gurney is a nightmare to drive through, and that's probably the only reason why I know it.
I've never driven, I'm too keen.
Oh my. Interestingly enough, Barrow Court has a 1-star single review on Google. Interesting.
Wow.
It's got no text to this review.
It was
is
that
simply
bad.
1 star. Somebody doesn't like Barrow Court in Barrow Gurney.
Someone did a Depeche Mode on them and left no words.
But I am going to say that Barrow Court is where Robert Aldworth has his lodgings, for I cannot find the truth of the real historical Robert Aldworth as to where his house was. So I'm going to say it's Barrow Court in Barrow
That's the outskirts of Bristol. I think that lines up.
Yeah, makes sense. Lovely. So she happily gives you this information and feeds you all a hearty but cheap meal.
I mean, what do we care? It's already paid for.
Yeah,
it's already paid for.
Fine.
It's already paid for.
Say thanks.
A hearty and expensive meal.
I simply mean cheap in terms of the hatchet doesn't have too much choice on available.
There's no truffle oil at the hatchet.
No fine wines tonight.
No truffle, but it's full of hogs.
They're hogs here. I should like to meet them if they are.
I was merely insulting men.
Oh. In which case, I should not like to meet them.
Wise choice. Anyway, do we head on?
So what? Do you want to head off to Barrow Gurney?
Yes.
Do you need me?
So, do you wish... So, you'll need to plant some form of documents, which means that you'll need to get some documents. Because planting the constabulary's report as to investigating the merchant venturers would not do the same job as getting some fabulous documents from the merchant venturers. So, does somebody want to perform a mini heist of the merchant venturers building?
Yeah, wait. So, I thought we were trying to find documents in his house. We were trying to give documents into their house.
You're trying to plant a connection to Robert Aldworth to the merchant venturers.
I thought we were taking something.
That's what I
thought.
Nope.
This is still fine. It still requires breaking an entry, for which
it's
Jude
Inception.
The plan still is
designed.
the same.
It's a famous reverse heist.
The reverse heist.
Inception.
I'll abstract a lot of this because I'm not so interested in following the exactitudes of such heists. We'll zoom in when fails occur. So, who would like to perform a heist of the merchant venturers to get sufficient documents that will create a convincing link?
This is absolutely a job for Eli and Jude.
Me.
Go for it, Jude.
Unless you
can help out, maybe?
Unless you want Dog the dog.
No. Just send the rogues to do the heist. That makes all the sense in the world.
What I mean by design specifically for this is even if I encounter anyone while I'm sneaking around, I have a talent called Shadow, which allows me to hide after being discovered. I also have a thing called Treachery, so if I am discovered and I can act first, I deal double damage. And I have Lightning Hands, which means that all of my weapons are quick. So...
Jude's a murderer.
Amazing.
It's gonna murder you in your sleep. Boop, 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 boop,
Jude is an excellent murderer. So you find yourself near the Merchant Venturers building. How do you attempt this? How do you conduct
I would like to do a perception check first to see if there's any visible movement.
We won't do sort of like micro test. We'll do sort of
Okay.
like one large one just to
Right, okay.
deal with it. So you find it at a quiet time. There are still sort of a few people working in the building, but it's mostly operating during the day and then skeleton staff at night. People come and go from it as trade is a 24-hour industry.
I think I would just try to sneak in and try and maintain myself hidden as I'm looking around.
As Jude is very capable of scaling buildings, what way do you go in? Do you try and climb around the back and get through a window, or slip through the door as if you were meant to be there?
What does the party think?
Smash it in.
It might be best if Jude is not seen at all.
Yeah, I think more secret the better.
Oh, okay. Watch me fail this.
It will be a skullduggery, because how could it not be?
It's actually quite nerve-wracking watching it come in on the Discord.
It is. Woo!
You just see the typing.
Oh!
A success!
Woo!
You're
Calm
too
down,
successful
everyone.
today. You're too successful today. It's very disappointing.
I disagree.
The major fail has been Wallace Blick. the only fail has been Wallace
think
Yeah,
Blick.
we
so.
can only fail.
We can always rely. Eli
Lucio.
failed. No, that was Wallace Blick.
That was Wallace
Just
Blick.
Wallace.
I also failed at being at sneaking into the Scots people's rooms because I couldn't succeed.
I
Yeah,
guess,
but that was a circumstantial failure rather than
A
a
failure
failure.
nonetheless.
a failure nonetheless.
We can always rely on Wallace Blick for reliable failure.
He never lets us
Things.
down.
So yeah, you're able to scale the building, slide through, and into a selection of dimly lit offices. You stalk the hallways carefully, making sure to avoid anybody who's still in the building. But you're able to dance between a selection of offices. What sort of a document are you after finding? What sort of stuff do you want? Or do you want to try and forge something while you're here?
Oh, I don't think I have anything that would allow me to forge anything.
You can always try forging things.
Can I?
Yeah.
Just doesn't mean if you're going to be any good at it.
Do I have to? Does this establishment not have unfilled in papers that I could steal?
It
What does that mean?
would still be a form of forgery to make it look convincing. Make
You just have to sort out the addressing and everything.
Try and
Yeah.
forge the seal.
All right.
The seal you don't need to forge because the seal is probably somewhere just on a desk.
True.
Yeah.
Use it.
yeah. It'll be if it like, but, because if you seal something with the right seal and you have all the right paperwork, then any untrained eye will go like, oh, that looks legit. But if
Right.
it's in the hands of the constabulary,
Go to
We
the
were
most
looking-
important looking desk, open it up, and try and match the handwriting of that with like some sort of letter linking it to Robert, whatever his name is. And then the seal should be somewhere around that desk.
do you want to try and get in and find Oscar Blinkley's office?
Would I recognize it? Like, what would a...
Well, this will be potentially the difficulty.
It doesn't have a little plaque.
Do they have plaques at this time?
No idea.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But you'd just be looking for the most ornate door, I suppose.
If he's
I mean, I
Well,
can do that. I
or just
suppose.
the
We don't
nicest
know his
desk.
position in the Merchant Venturers. We just know that he is well known.
Oh, and you'll be great at counterfeiting, Jude. You have such high skullduggery.
Fair enough. Yeah. I can try a counterfeit.
Lovely. So do you want to try and just use the materials that you've got, or work your way into Oscar Blinkley's office?
Leave it with the party. I'll do whatever they want.
Getting a seal, an actual seal, would probably be the best way to trick the constabulary.
Yeah. If I have access to a seal, I don't think there's much purpose in finding that. Because, I mean, I suppose if I get into his office, if I can recognize it somehow, I have access to other stuff as well.
He did mention he wanted this, the seal needed to be on it, so we need to get one of them.
Yeah. Shall I try and get... If I get into his office, is this the one thing that I'm able to do? I.e. forge something, or can I also look for stuff in his office?
Oh, you can absolutely use the opportunity of being in his office to
Well, let's
rummage.
let's do that.
Okay. Roll an insight test, and we'll see sort of like how well this whole interaction goes with finding Blinkley's office, finding the right supplies, and the more successes, the better here.
Okay, well, fingers crossed. Well, just
A single success. So you're able to find Blinkley's office, and you're able to find the seal and the sort of like a few documents that you might be able to start imprinting some writing onto. However, as you get into that office, you hear from the corridor large, imposing voice say, Yes, I appreciate that it's very late, but trade is a 24-hour industry, you understand? One must always be on call and always be ready to work.
A
goose!
Heavy footsteps tower up the stairs.
I think you should hide like it was Home Alone.
How many sets?
A single set of
Well,
footprints.
if I manage to hide myself, I have Eagle Eye, which means I can immobilize an unalerted human.
Hysterical.
So yeah, do you want to try and hide in the office that you're in? Okay. So roll a skullduggery.
Watch me fail this. I don't like
Yeah.
this. I don't like being tested.
You.
Says in an RPG.
Yeah, the RPG with the core mechanic called test.
Last time I played this, everyone was doing the voices and whatever, and I was like, I had to talk to someone. I was like, I'm going to ask this dialogue. Get to the point. So, yeah. Anyway.
I still think that is a perfectly valid way of playing. I think.
Thank you. I feel most validated.
Plentiful successes.
Like little Kevin McAllister.
Blinkley storms into the room. Where do you want to be hiding? Feel free to describe what you think an office.
Could you explain the layout of the room to me?
Cruel.
Rafters.
The one might hide in.
Sort of like cabinets, but wooden.
Is his desk one of those ones that has vision only if you're like sitting at it? Underneath it, I mean.
It wouldn't be flat, would it?
Look at me. So it's not just a table, it's a desk that has like
a roll top.
Oh.
Because I would like to hide under the desk, and as soon as he sits down or pulls his chair,
get him.
I knock him out. A sucker punch or something like that.
From under his desk.
Oh my god. Can
Straight to the head.
So I will hide under the desk, and when he goes to sit down, can I do one of those what is she called? Black Widow thing?
Oh,
I grab him by the
choke
neck with my legs, and I just knock him out.
Because you got 2 successes here, I will ask you: would you rather,
yes,
knock him out regardless, or him simply not notice that you're in the room?
Oh.
2 successes here. You've snuck and hid very well. Would you like to simply wait for him to exit the room in a hidden position?
If I'm just waiting for him to exit the room, can I just hide on a shelf or something like that? Just look like furniture.
Yeah, I think you're able to perhaps very quickly slide one of the shelves forward and back so that you're able to slide yourself behind it in a way that Oscar Blinkley will not notice, because he is a very busy gentleman in the trade industry. Yes.
Okay, so I can look where he's looking and stuff like that.
So he storms into the room, huffs, puts his cane down on his desk, sits on it, sort of breathes out for a second, and then breathes in as if readying himself. Slides open his desk and starts compiling just a stack of papers and ledgers, and then huffs back up, moves over to a globe in the corner of the room, spins it almost routinely, like it's part of his routine. And he just sort of like chuckles to himself and says, all of it be mine. And then grabs his cane and starts wafting out of the room.
God, what a joke. Alright, he's out now, I suppose.
Yeah, he's
very good.
Gone.
I can only describe that in my notes as move over to a globe and spin it megalomaniacally, because that's what just happened.
I'm sort of imagining like Dr. Evil style, like gets halfway across and it loses momentum and he just needs to spin it a bit more.
Over to this globe quickly. Do I notice whether it can be opened?
Yeah. You quite quickly pop it open to reveal a sort of brandy
Oh.
and cigars.
Are there any glasses?
There are some glasses, yes.
Can he? Can Jude find any like spit or something in case we need to like do a test on it at some point?
I could just take one of the glasses, right? I don't think he'd be suspicious of that. He'd be annoyed.
He'd think he
would be
misplaced
"Oh, someone
it."
broke into
He'd
my
immediately,
office."
yeah,
And
he'd
stole
immediately
one of my
blame a lot of
glasses.
people.
Yeah. He'd blame lots of people, but wouldn't think it was stolen.
Correct. Okay, well that's done now. Do I go on with the forgery?
Yes.
Yes, you can pop yourself out back to everybody else. You've got all the supplies you need for the forgery.
Yay!
Woohoo!
So,
Do we do a team forgery? Do we all put together budgets?
You don't want whatever Rumpert's got.
Oh no.
it will be a skullduggery test performed by or supported by somebody with civil law or accountancy and trade.
Yeah. So
Anyone?
no,
Nope.
not me.
I don't have
Anyone have that?
any of that. But wait, Wilcox,
I simply do not know what you're talking about here.
I will make the same argument as I made before. I'm actually a privateer.
You are actually
This
a
is
privateer. This is very fair.
Can that be a situational die to help?
Yeah, go on. I'll let you.
Yes, old pirate lady.
The old pirate lady is going to perform.
The old pirate lady gambit is this move shall be
I'll
fondly
say
remembered.
actually, hold up, before you type in that roll, I'll say that because it's part of your background, I'm going to make you do it. So it's going to be your skullduggery.
Oh, can I have any assistance from Jude?
You can have a die from Jude's help.
Oh, all right.
And from
And the
Eli as
seal.
well.
Such.
I've got skullduggery as well.
It is simply the one situational
And
help.
yeah.
Die.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. I have 2 intelligence. I have the situational die from Jude, and I have my background, right?
That'll be fine.
To help
Yeah.
me with those. So
That's
it's
plenty.
That's okay.
That's fine.
The parts
Fine.
with the
If this is
materials to
the only
make
other fail,
Fine? Is
come
that
on.
going to be fine?
It's fine.
a forgery.
Isn't it
Let
fine?
me roll 4d6.
2 successes. So it is possible.
Thank goodness.
Nice. Thank God.
All but the most discerning eye will be fooled by the fake. So, lovely. You have a very convincing set of forged documents that will link Robert Aldworth to the corruption at the Merchant Venturers.
Woo!
Let's go.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Yay.
So you you make your way south to Barrow Gurney. So Barrow Gurney from Bristol is no short walk. It is, in fact, about a 2-hour walk.
What the fuck? Sorry.
Felix, how could you swear? This is a family podcast.
PG.
It's a family podcast.
Is it a family podcast?
No, it's not a family.
No.
Oh, right.
absolutely
No
not.
one told me the tone.
We've already said fuck too much for it to be a family podcast. This is
Yeah,
definitely.
No,
our favorite
like,
family
the first-
activity.
The
Listening
first
to
thing you
murder.
did was plant a horny gem.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think kids should.
This is
educated.
definitely a rated 15 podcast. We've got that.
No one told me the tone, so I went straight with the horny
I mean,
spell.
the whole spell didn't go through, so technically we're still safe.
Yeah, instead of the horny spell, we got like joyful hippie Rumpert instead of horny Rumpert,
God.
which I think
Yeah.
we can all agree is very disappointing.
As much
That
as
just sounds threatening.
So, it's
Yeah.
up to you how you wish to accomplish this. This could be, can we get a carriage there and back, or can we get a horse potentially for the rest of the for a few days, or do you wish to one of you work through the night on this?
It can be me.
Let me. Is the constabulary closed?
a bargaining chip? You wish to get a horse?
I think that's a very good use of a bargaining chip.
I think that is a very good use of a bargaining chip. I think, regardless, you'll be able to find somebody who's acting as a night's watch for the constabulary, and they'll at least be aware of your situation and your indebtedness, or at least we'll be able to summon Jenny Morton.
Eli, so Jude, come with me. You can share a horse.
Yay!
We can remove a bargaining chip.
No, not three of us. I'm sending you two on the horse. I'm staying here.
So Rumpert is with Dog, just so we're all aware.
Good
Rumpert's
to know.
Very
having a
good.
nice time with Dog.
Rump's having a great time with Dog.
So you have a horse. The constabulary says that you can keep it for a few days. They have it for chases, which it's just entered my head, and I want to see a horse chase in film soon. I need to see that. Where can I find that?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
I
Shrek 2
watched
as
Lord of
well.
the Rings. See, my brain went, I need to watch Northanger Abbey. Anyway, before I talk about Northanger Abbey, Jude and Eli start racing south.
How long does it take us to get there?
To Barrow Gurney. On horseback, it'll take you about half an hour, I believe.
So insufficient time to make poison while on horseback.
Insufficient time.
Or if one of us is riding the horse, the other one on the back can be making a poison.
I wouldn't make a poison while on
You're
horseback.
both on the horse.
I wouldn't recommend one of you.
Okay,
Like, you could.
this reaction is unnecessary. I asked a question, I got an answer. Let's move on, children.
You can happily make the poison once you get to Barrow Gurney.
Yeah.
I like the idea of you trying to balance the poison set on the back of the horse. And then...
It's a talent for a reason.
Yeah, I need to add to horseback poison. I think that's a fun talent.
Horseback poisoning. That sounds like the third installment in a romance novel.
Oh, my God.
Oh yes, I'll have a horse chase in that one.
About a woman and a centaur or something like that.
And then what
I'm
happens?
so invested.
I'll think about it and come back.
Hi,
Could you
welcome
send
to
me a message
Demonologie's
after
live
this?
reading of the
Horseback poisoning. And all characters done by Rumpert.
Anyway, while Jude and Eli are racing to perform a reverse heist in Barrow Gurney, what do Tanazart and Rumpert want to do with their evening and late morning or early morning?
What Rumpert's going to do is he's going to have a chat with Dog, and he's going to ask Dog to go and have a wander through Bristol for the night and try and look out for the smell of caramel, of burnt caramel. And he's going to translate that over into Dog, into Wolfhound, and then leave Dog to get about its business for the night. Which, I suppose, there's no formal rules on that, but as a dog, I suppose it could just kind of wander around the place looking for that.
Yeah,
smell.
I think that's very possible, and
it's
I'd ask for
expect that he would know the smell of burnt caramel because he's a city dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll give you an orienteering test to perform that.
Okay, so I have, give me a hot sec, I have 2 Constitution, I'm skilled in orienteering, and I have knowledge of... You laugh at this. It is hunting.
You know what? This is an opportunity for
You've let
hunting,
hunting
I believe.
pass on every
But
other
also-
time but the time I tried to use it. This is unfair.
Yes, this is potentially it. I was more letting this slide because you've already got Dog helping you.
Yeah.
And in between hunting and Dog helping you, I'm fine to give an extra dice for that.
So is that 4d6 then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
I assure you that I will let Eli use hunting soon.
Thank you.
2 successes.
2
God, I did
successes.
so well.
Yeah, no,
So-
gassed.
We'll come back to Dog's.
And then Rumpert
successes
turns in. He
hunting.
just has a just kind of conks out.
Lovely. I think we have reached the night proper.
Oh, God.
Which, of course, means that I get to start doing some Demon's Hand actions. Some of those filthy night actions. And let's see what I want to do.
I'm quite excited, actually. This is the first night action that we've had in this campaign.
It is.
Yeah.
Should we explain what a night action
absolutely.
is for the benefit of the people listening?
Yeah, so a night action is an opportunity for the Demon's Hand to start doing some bad stuff. There's a whole array of actions, but one of them in particular requires the very baroque, dramatic tossing of a coin, to which should be shown to all of the players, but is not revealed the result. So I'm gonna show you. Here's the coin that I'm gonna toss.
He has a coin in his fingers.
I have a coin in my hand.
There is a coin there.
It can be seen on said Zoom call. I am now going to toss it into the air.
I saw it.
And I've caught it.
He's caught it.
Interesting.
He said it's interesting.
Other video conferencing applications are available.
We are not affiliates.
Lovely. And I am absolutely going to use the opportunity to do something horrible here.
Of course.
Huzzah!
Yeah, it's a perfect
This episode
opportunity.
has
And my
sailing far too smooth.
So Eli and Jude
they're
arrive
alone.
Eli and Jude arrive at the Barracourt of Barragurney, the estate which Robert Aldworth uses, and it's split into 2 or 3 sort of, I want to call them campuses, which is the main house, and then sort of some servant houses, and a farmstead, and even a church, as a part of sort of the main campus. You can sort of see this from, I'll permit you a brief reconnaissance, as you are both rogues. So how would you like to... do you want to make some poison?
It might come in
Just trying to
handy.
assassinate Robert Aldworth, regardless of the mission.
I would like to make some nerve paralytic.
Lovely.
On the back of this moving horse.
I thought the
Nothing
horse
can
was
go
not
wrong
moving.
with this plan.
They've stopped moving, but it would be a great Wild West show moment.
We tried to
would.
do it. We
And
tried.
Jude has accomplished stranger feats of swiftness and agility.
So applied to a blade lasting 3 minutes. If a human is stuck, they will be paralyzed for an hour. A monster stuck will lose one attack each round for 3 rounds. Lovely. So do you well, you don't need to apply that to a blade just now. How do you wish to accomplish this? Where do you want to try and hide the documents where they might be discovered? Or, maybe more importantly, where's convincing?
Is there already a prior pile of documents?
Now, you haven't quite gotten inside the manor just yet.
But with
That
From
might
the
be a little bit
outside,
more of a
do we,
test.
Can we discern where Robert's private chambers / office might be?
Oh, Robert, first name terms the menu frame.
We are headed to his private chamber.
Mr. Aldworth!
and possibly
private
paralysed.
chambers.
I have no respect for men.
So Barracourt, it will likely be on the main campus of Barracourt. You see lights on, regardless of the late hour. You're probably at gone midnight at this point, and you see a few servants moving between buildings. Barracourt's quite large. Yeah, make an insight test.
Oh.
It's not a success. Or it could be. Now, Jude, I'm going to tell you here. I'll give you the location of Aldworth's study. That's fine. You can have that. That's chill. You will have to take the bargain. But I'm going to throw something in to sweeten the pot. There's something else happening at Barracourt tonight. And to learn what this is...
We gotta know.
...would be very beneficial. Yeah, like maybe you'll be able to find the study some other way. But find it out right now and you'll get to know what else is... That's an accepted bargain. 2 5s.
2 successes. I see.
Wait, is that a bargain or is that a fate point?
That was a bargain.
That's a bargain roll.
That's a bargain.
No! No! Shit! Oh, God!
Siobhan, do you know what this is?
I do!
Oh, I don't like that reaction. Face you just pulled.
This is bullshit!
Oh, I love it.
This
Things are about to compound.
This is a Toby jug full of steaming piss.
So you see, you are not far away. You're hidden in the brush close to the estate. You see 2 servants come out with a big, what appears to be keg, and then they pour it out onto the ground, and blood gushes out of it.
Oh, shit.
God.
And they pour it out, and they just look pale and stressed.
Good lord!
Oh my god.
A whole barrel of blood!
I want to follow them.
I'm intrigued.
Can you make a skullduggery test?
Yeah. Do Eli and I split here?
We could split.
That would make sense for one of you to go to the study, one of you to go to...
I will follow these people because the blood to me indicates danger and I'm of higher rank.
I will go to the study then.
So Eli, I'd like a skullduggery test from each of you,
Obviously.
because it will...
Oh my fucking god.
Oh no!
Can I
Oh, so hero...
You can fate point that
Hero-
if you want. That's
Hero
4 dice and
failures.
all of them failing.
Yeah,
Do I
sure.
reroll
Now is the
all of
time
them?
we start to bloody fail.
Do I get 3 dice? For 2 intelligence and
What's your
skullduggery, yeah.
intelligence?
Yes.
Did I do it wrong?
Weird.
It'll pop in. It's just having a struggle. So, Felix, do you want to re-roll
Do
those
I
4
re-roll
dice
all of
with a
them?
fate point? Yeah.
Watch all of these fail again. That would be so annoying.
Oh!
There we go.
Yay! Very
Very
nice.
Both rolls succeed. So, Dr. Chatillon, after impeaching fate, first impeaching the devil, then
Whenever we get Devil's Bargains, I like to imagine that if this were like a series or a game, the way it would be perceived or visualized would be like as a gentle rustling about, like a whisper, a soft breeze.
Wouldst thou like to live to
Exactly. Very good.
And Jude said yes!
I was thinking about this the other night, and I was like, yeah, I'd say yeah.
It sounds fun!
Yeah, I do want to live deliciously.
Well,
But I do
Whereas,
not like the taste of butter.
Whereas usually in my games, when a devil's bargain happens, I laugh like a maniacal crow, giving away what has happened.
We're here for a good time, not a long time.
I just want to double check now that I've infiltrated the building, I am now hidden, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
this is just to keep track of what actions I have available to me.
yeah, you... Let's follow Eli first, because I want
That's
to...
fine.
I want to have a very short cliffhanger. So Eli, how do you enter the estate? Do you try and find an open door and then sneak hallway to hallway, or do you scale the building and
I really want to scale the
What's the plan
scale the window, scale the building.
You have 3 fitness.
Can I
you can do
scale
it.
the entire building?
Wait, what the hell?
Okay.
Eli's got 3 fitness?
Yeah, Eli's buff.
Tiny buff boy.
This is why Swithin was immediately like, yeah, no, don't discount that kid.
He's swole.
So
Eli Swolethorn.
I must say, this session is silly. Eli scales the building.
We're flush with success and Satan.
Not the first thing he scaled.
Perhaps. Oh no.
That was wicked, and you said it in a naughty voice.
Eli scales the building, perhaps a gutter or a drain, or Assassin's Creed style.
Very familiar
climbing onto
territory.
things. Yeah, just grabbing onto things that don't outcrop. Eli is up the side of the building and moving along the roof towards the study, to which he dangles down towards a window and starts to a lot of windows at this time would not open, but the luxury of the estate means that these shall. And Eli creaks the window open, but inside in the dark room can hear movement.
Oh.
I've not been spotted yet, right?
You don't know if you've been spotted by what or
I mean,
anything.
I've got sneak thief as a talent. Can I remain undetected?
What is the... I found it. Always have a PDF of the book open right next to me. Sneak thief. If you fail a test made while breaking the law, you've not failed a test, which means that you are likely remained hidden. So, you peek through the window, and you see a... not for the first time tonight, a host of gnomes.
Gnomes!
Okay.
And they are tearing apart the room.
Oh my god.
They are just like rooting through drawers, picking up things, and just pocketing them into their hats.
Savage gnome.
Oh my god, you can just drop the letter in and amongst it.
But they might pick it up.
And then but why would they're gnomes? They're not going to pick up a piece of paper. All that will mean is that it becomes like meshed around with everything, so it looks hidden.
They are right now putting lots of pieces of paper.
Wait for the gnomes to leave,
Are they looking
and then
for
plant
something
the letter.
Particular? Like, what are the gnomes doing there?
Why are the gnomes doing this?
Why are the
Somebody stop
gnomes
them.
doing this? We'll poke back over to Jude for a second, who has followed the 2 servants back into the kitchen, and they head down a set of stairs into what appears to be a cellar.
Is it a spiral staircase?
Sure, why not? I absolutely love that. You follow them down a spiral staircase. It's horrendously impractical for a cellar with...
To bring a barrel up.
Yeah, that's incredibly difficult.
It's very hard on the person who's coming up the stairs behind us.
But you follow them down, and you hear a gentle splish and splash as their feet meet the bottom. And as you come around the corner to see it, it is a thin pool of blood is all on the floor of this cellar.
Can I collect some quickly?
Yeah. Into what?
He's got that glass.
Well, I imagine that because I would be making poison, I would have to have something to hold it in, right? So I imagine I have like a small vial. I just want to test it to see if any. Maybe I would need to test it. I would rather.
This seems like a
pick
lot
up some
of
blood
blood
right now.
It certainly is a lot.
Like,
Yeah,
not one
this
person
is
amount of blood.
this is some shining. The elevator is opened in the distance, and this is what's happened.
Yeah. Very good.
You hear a conversation from inside of somebody just saying, "There's too much of it. There's too much of it. Oh, I've never seen so much in my entire life. I've never. It's and then somebody says, "Calm down. Don't let Mr. Oldworth find out about this. He needn't find out about anything. We can simply dispose of it into the grounds. I think blood is a fertilizer."
I mean, they're not technically.
No.
It'll probably do some good.
Probably do wonders.
You realise we're inundated with farmers tonight?
Do you wish to do anything about this?
Do I wish to do anything about them talking?
Or just sort of like listen in? No. One of them eventually says, I just don't feel quite comfortable. We'll fetch the priest. We'll fetch the priest, and he's the only other person that need know, and he'll know what to do about it. And they start splashing to. Oh God! The image. It's really it got to me for a second.
Carry on.
They start splashing
Very
back towards
visceral.
the spiral staircase. Just like splashing through pools
Are
of
these
blood.
the only two people that I can hear?
They were speaking to a third person. The third person seemed to be the one who was quite distressed. They seem to have not left the blood room.
Gang, can I take all of these people on?
No!
Oh, no! We can't let anyone know that we know.
To answer your question, yes, you can take all of them on.
Because
they might have been responding to if you should have.
Immobilize one of them because of one of my traits. And I can apply the poison to one of my blades and just... Because presumably there's nowhere for me to hide, right?
No, but...
Oh, no, you can head back up the stairs.
You can head back up the stairs. You'll be fine. Like, there's no need...
Like, okay. You're at a reasonable distance. You're able to sort of like hear them as they're coming towards you and avoid them. You've succeeded your skullduggery.
Okay, I can do that then.
You really want to kill some people today?
No, I don't want to kill anyone. I just want to investigate further, and I'm concerned that if I go back up, they'll like lock the door behind me.
No, they're not locking any doors right now.
Okay.
They're too stressed.
Oh, so I could just wait for them to leave?
Yeah, and then you can head back
sexy. Yeah, let's do that.
We're waiting for gnomes. We're waiting for servants.
Everything's happening.
It's all happening here right now.
Are the gnomes aware? Are the servants aware of the gnomes? I was about to say,
I
the gnomes
assume
aware
not,
of the servants,
otherwise-
if they were the unusual ones to have in a large house, not gnomes.
A fountain of blood for like 60 gnomes. Pick one.
So I on the subject of the 60 gnomes,
is it 60 gnomes? Because that's a lot.
It's you're able to after a minute or two of watching discern the number of gnomes to be 6. They appear to be just climbing bookshelves, picking up certain books, rifling through them, then throwing them back on the floor, and then occasionally pocketing one in their seemingly infinite-sized hats.
Glad I gave you that one.
There are 3 who are all rooting through the desk. They seem to be reading every single letter, and then either scrunching it up and throwing it away, simply throwing it back onto the floor and discarding it. Sometimes they'll place one very delicately back into the desk, but a few they will put straight into their hats.
Oh, I want to know.
Their method is methodical and chaotic.
And also, obviously, inscrutable, I suppose.
They're obviously after something.
Is there any way for Eli to sort of get a better idea of how they're sorting things, or does he still have to wait until that?
Yeah, definitely. I've got 2 intelligence.
Go ahead.
Do you have any? Are you skilled?
What are your knowledges? And don't say hunting.
You got cryptology?
No. I've got herbalism, surgery, veterinary science, plague study, classics, and Celtic. None of those.
Those are cool knowledges, but they're not helpful right now. Oh no, Eli, that's a devil's bargain. All right. So So I was weighing up in my head that it's quite difficult to discern the exact nature of what these gnomes are doing. And of course it is very difficult. But with the devil's bargain, I'd tell you exactly. Because it would be rude not to.
Is it truly important for me to know what these gnomes are up to? Can I just wait
Say
until they
it
leave?
in the tempting voice.
You can just wait until they're
could
gone.
wait until they leave. But I do want to know what they're doing.
Wait until they leave!
No, take it. Let's just raise hysteria to 75. Come on.
Get the witchfinders
no
in here. Have a party.
Except for me.
Oh my god, please. Let's do that.
Alright, come on. Alright, Eli, you want to know what these gnomes are up to.
No, you don't.
You want to take that
You
bargain.
can find out what they're up to afterwards.
Oh no.
No!
Ah! 5 minutes
Oh my god!
They're all dreadful devil's bargains.
God!
See, this is the cost of success.
Well, a 5 was good.
The 5 is not good.
No, I think the higher it is, the worse it is, I think.
The worse it is.
Oh
Yeah.
god, no, that's the devil's bargain,
So
isn't it?
I somehow did worse than the last devil's bargain.
Yes. The last devil's bargain is sort of ominous. I think yours might actually be deadly to
Oh god! Oh no!
Jude, you noticed that 2 people came out of the cellar.
Not 3.
So there's still the third one down there.
That's fine. I can hack and slash. Let's go.
So you head down into the cellar, seeing this person go, it's too much blood, it's too much blood, it's too... it's more than I've ever seen in my life. As the barrels on the far side of the wall, you see a few of them have ruptured. A further number just burst open and blood pours from them.
Yikes.
Oh no!
Back at
Siobhan, I don't like
hatchet.
how worried you are.
Rumpert is awoken, as is Tanazart,
Oh no!
by screams.
Ah!
Screams from
What
downstairs.
have I done?
Oh no! It's happened again. It's just all of Bristol.
Oh my god, so that's why they were pouring all the ale, all the blood into the thing. Because all of what's his name's ale has turned into blood. And now it's happened for the rest of his ale.
We'll deal with the calamity of the hatchet in a minute, and we'll deal with the very traumatized man in the basement with Jude. After we learn that the motives of these gnomes is to uncover that they are looking for what you are going to plant.
Oh no.
They are looking for an association between Robert Aldworth and the merchant venturers.
Bastards. Little bastards. What are the gnomes thinking? What are they planning?
So they're either covering up for Robert, or you happen to be on the side of righteousness alongside
The gnome.
Swithin Elton.
Ah, okay.
Either way, I say
Eli
wait him out.
capture one?
Can I grab
If
one?
you steal its hat, it'll get
It's
really
immediate.
annoying.
Can I just pick one up?
No, because then they'll all go for
Oh
you
shit! Yeah,
and they'll
I'll
beat
be,
you up.
I'll be mobbed by all the gnomes.
You'll be beaten up by a bunch of gnomes.
Yeah,
which is funny.
That's not a good way to die.
I don't know if they'd kill you.
Can I
They
talk
probably
to them?
wouldn't, but it.
No, because they're likely under the command. Like if they're likely under the command of a witch, so they will
Yeah.
not be reasoned.
And
with.
if they know that I have what they're looking for, they will attack me.
They will
Okay,
come
yeah.
for you.
I mean, you could just wait this
Yeah,
out
essentially
on the
the
roof.
prob's gonna not find anything and then have to leave.
Okay, so Eli swifts back up the side of the building via drain pipe or Assassin's Creed.
Has a breather and really thinks about what he's just witnessed.
Eli sitting on the roof thinking about the gnomes. Oh, this is the painting I wish I could see.
One leg sort of hanging down.
With the
just
moon in the
what
background.
fuck is going
Framed.
on?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's picturesque.
And just beneath
eventually,
Eli's feet, you see in the window gnomes tearing apart an office.
And blood pouring out from windows.
Yeah. So eventually, Eli, by keeping your eyes open, you're able to see the gnomes pop out of the window that you were about to climb through. They're muttering sort of like a raspy, whispery voice to each other as they do so. But one by one, they sort of jump onto the windowsill, then jump straight down a story onto the floor, and then potter off into the woods, one by one, in a direct line.
That's incredible.
It's so
Like
cute!
over the hedge.
These are evil gnomes, Siobhan. Pull
If they
yourself
look
together.
like the second picture that Siobhan took, I'm very much enjoying watching this.
So, there's a game that I play called Puddle Agent. I'm going to cut that out. Puzzle Agent, where the villains are gnomes of a similar kind. And they all whisper sort of to each other, and it's quite distressing. So I imagine these gnomes much in that style. But they are still quite cute.
Has anyone seen the gnomes from Gravity Falls that all look like real squiffy?
Yes!
That's what I
Yes, the
imagine.
really, really, really drunk gnomes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eli, you're able to get into the study again, and plant your documents if you want.
Yes.
If you want to do anything else while you're there,
I
be
mean,
my
the place
guest.
is trashed, isn't it?
But I appreciate if...
Oh, have a look around
It's
and
absolutely
see
trashed.
if you can find anything that's got the seal.
Yeah.
Because then you'll know if they were looking to take stuff away or to plant stuff themselves.
Okay, can I do a perception check?
I'll considering you had the insight roll from before, I'll allow you to root through the papers and see that they've definitely taken things away rather than added to the pile.
Cool, good stuff.
They've done the inverse of what
Cool.
you were attempting.
So, can I just leave our forgery kind of somewhere in sight, but kind of askew, so it looks like it's been messed up like the rest
Wait,
of it?
does the office look like it's been sort of ransacked a bit?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's
cool.
a tip.
What you want to do is you want to stuff it like kind of at the bottom, at the back of a drawer in the desk, so that it looks like, because if the place looks ransacked, like it's been stolen from, then it looks like something's been missed.
Okay, yeah. So I guess like shoved into a drawer really badly
Yeah.
that might leave a little bit sticking out. So it's like, oh, there's something there.
Your apt forgery has been hidden within the room, and Eli swifts her back out the window and up to the roof, and then Assassin's Creed's down into a bale of hay.
Beautiful.
There's a gentle whistling sound and the sound of a crying eagle.
You said something else was going on at Barrow Court. Was it just the barrels full of blood?
Just.
Or was it the gnomes? Or was it item 3, which we shall now find out?
You spoke too soon.
Barrow Court is busy tonight. Robert Oldworth is in bed. He does not know of any of this, but in the morning he will likely hear of it. So in the basement with the burst barrels, Jude, you see blood erupt out of some barrels. The other man in the basement screams as it happens, and then starts wading and splashing his way towards you.
I only have one idea here, sort of inspired by our fanatics, Benedict and Piotyr, which is, there's nothing really that I can do about the situation, except for instilling some spiritual fear into this man.
Terror of God! Yes, terror of God!
Terror of God's a great
I would
tactic.
like to pretend that I'm an agent, I'm a vision sent to him by God, and that if at any point anyone that looks like me appears to him, that he should be immediately helpful.
You see the man, and you say out loud,
Well,
"This is the act of the devil. I know nothing of the sort. I am here to follow you and discern what has
because I
happened."
can't lie, that's true.
Now paralyze him and drown him in the blood so it looks like an accident.
Yeah. Can I? That would be quite fun.
No, if he dies,
I mean,
if he dies, that raises hysteria. That's just a murder.
That's correct. I mean, is it really a
you
murder?
don't want a
He'd
guy
die
in a basement full of blood to be found dead.
Mm.
You don't want that. That's
Paralyze him
right.
and make sure he's face up.
Put him on a shelf.
Prop him up
I
against
guess
the
I just
wall.
Drown
do it.
him.
He's too-
Set
He's
it all on
terrified
fire.
So how exactly do you deal with this man?
Is the purpose to try and calm him down?
Well, you just told him that you're lying there to follow him, and this is the work of the devil.
You can't. Yeah.
I mean,
I was so thrilled when you said, "I'm going to pretend." I was like,
completely. Can I just drag him out? I didn't steal the sense of urgency in him. Let's just drag him out so he doesn't drown.
Wait, have you knocked him out?
No,
No. Well, what do you mean drag him out?
You could
just lead him. Take his hand.
Okay,
gently.
sorry.
drag him out or take his hand gently.
Yes, so you lead him up the stairs, and he is a roll of compassion here.
Oh, do I roll compassion with psychology to temper his whatever?
Yeah.
Oh,
Treat him and calm him, and
look at me, remembering I have things. This will not be successful. I can feel it. Oh,
there is a success in there. There is a success in there. So you take the man upstairs. You sort of soothe him as you climb the stairs and say, "Don't look down at your shoes; they're covered." Or something potentially more comforting.
No, that's actually exactly something that Jude would say.
But, very good. And you come up to the kitchen room that the staircase leads to. Is there anything? Well, yeah. Is there anything you want to get out of him while he's up here, or just sort of like calm him down and seat him?
Party? Do I want anything from him?
Ask him if any other strange things are going on at Barrow Court.
Except for stuff turning into
Except for that.
As long as he hasn't seen any gnomes.
How young is this person?
He's quite old actually. He's about maybe 70 or so.
Oh my god.
He's an old man. Could have died of a heart attack.
It was the two younger men who seemed to be handling the situation of the barrels of blood.
Right.
Slightly more.
Well, I will ask of his name first.
How dare you do this to me? Godfrey. His name is Godfrey.
Dearest Godfrey, tell me, has there been any other strange occurrences here?
Oh, sir, no. No. It's been a relatively quiet day. Mr. Aldworth has been dealing with matters in town. He's been back and forth to the estate, and it's been relatively quiet with him away. And then tonight, all of a sudden, as you saw, sir.
Had he more to say?
No.
Oh, sorry. I was just waiting. We don't need to find out from him where his estate is, right? Well, this is the estate.
This is the estate.
Right, okay.
This is Robert Aldworth's estate.
Splendid. I don't think there's anything else I can glean from him.
As you're starting to settle the man, you hear cries outside of the dead have awoken!
Oh god, is that my bad?
The dead have awoken! I can't remember if Eli did the barrels of blood or if this was Jude's.
Between us both, we've done quite a bit of damage.
But the two other servants and a priest burst through the door and say, "Godfrey! Oh, you're out of who's this fellow?"
A doctor.
Oh, excellent! Godfrey, you called a doctor. Excellent.
Not a lie.
No lying tonight.
No lying tonight. And say, "Spirits dance on the graves. It's old words have passed. We recognise them from the paintings on the hallway."
Oh my god, do we have to go and deal with this? Do we have to, like, bash them down?
You can't bash him
just
down.
like, that sounds awful, I'm off.
This sounds like a you problem. Bye.
Yeah, neither of you have clergy, so this is just a them problem. You can go.
I mean, is this happening everywhere, or is this
I
just
mean-
by...
Simply because I don't know the wording of the actual devil's bargain. Are these harmful deads or just walking around terrifying people deads?
I imagine they have not investigated the matter too thoroughly as of yet.
Shall I go and have a look?
Yeah, and for reference, you can always, in the case of these sorts of ones especially, make some sort of a thurgy roll to see if you can assuage the dead to return to their usual repose. But if you want to go and investigate, the priest certainly leads you that way.
Splendid. Oh, do I know this priest, or is this a new one?
New one.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, because they have a church. Never mind.
Yeah. He says, the two lads awoke me, and to say some matter of blood, and we passed by the church to see spirits dancing on the graves. Not dancing, but moving. And he, within a short time, leads you to see, wafting through the air above the few gravestones of the church, various men and women appearing of the last few centuries.
Do they seem aggressive?
Wonderful.
Wafting.
That sounds quite soft.
They're wafting about.
Siobhan wafting. Okay, so... What is it that I can do with them? Teach me. I actually don't know.
So... It'll be attempting sort of thurgical rites to try and convince them back into their graves is possible.
It's a rain, go away, except with the dead.
Okay.
Oh wait, Eli, can't you see this happening from on top of the building?
Oh, of course. I guess I'm still there. I kind of...
You can come over and find
just two
find
rogues
Jude at this
looking
point.
at some
Can't do
dead
anything
people.
about
Well,
it.
actually, it's just two doctors coming and looking after.
You're
someone.
both
Yeah,
doctors.
literally.
Eli appears in the
Yeah.
priest's other arm. Who are you? I'm a doctor.
I got called for assistance. Second doctor was needed desperately.
Yeah.
These doctors making house calls at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Young man, do you see this nonsense? Most disturbing.
Very concerning indeed.
Right, so does that mean I just walk up and just shout
Did
at
you
them?
say we could attempt to do
Roll your virtue as well.
Yeah, so it'll be I mean, if you want to try and shout the dead back to their graves, then that can absolutely be the way that you go about it. But a virtue test with Thurgy, and then, well, let's see, something like
Church law?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for once.
Church law.
For once.
Oh, can Eli contribute to help in any
I
way?
don't think I've
Is
got
this-
anything to help.
The situational die of church law will be thoroughly accounting for that, I think. So I think Eli can
And enjoy.
watch through it.
Absolutely fucking not.
Don't take a devil's bargain to
No.
deal with a devil's bargain. That's a bad
That's what
vibe.
we call a hat in a hat. Don't do
sorry.
it.
Run.
2 fails in a devil's bargain. I meant to say at this point, hey, well, maybe you'd get a less bad one. So you could take the devil's bargain, and then the devil's bargain here would be gone, and you'd have a new devil's bargain, which might be more fun.
I mean, this one's That doesn't seem that bad. They haven't killed anybody yet.
No, but they're stressing people out.
If you want to get this guy arrested to get you in deeper with that thief, his house being an active crime scene as well as a site of unrest for the dead might see you well.
True.
Yeah, this might work to our advantage. Oh, your house is haunted? Also crime?
Also gnomes?
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, I don't think the ghosts are necessary for it looking like a crime scene with there being blood.
I think the thing about the fives, the devil's bargains that are all fives, is they're just then they're not gonna hurt anyone so much as they're going to cause mass hysteria.
How can we
I mean, haven't they already caused the hysteria by people?
I mean,
noticing
a small
it?
group of people have.
Yeah,
noticed,
but you know,
not everybody.
Unless we killed everyone who'd seen it.
Also, really thankfully, because this has happened in the middle of the night, they'll be gone by the time everyone wakes up.
So it sounds like you're letting the failure ride.
Yeah,
And-
I feel like.
I mean, it's only a few people are going to be
Yeah.
in hysterics.
How many? I mean, the servants at this place, they're gonna be seeing some shit anyway, seeing as the gnomes were here. So.
Oh no, the servants are going to get blamed for the gnomes.
I could just
Let them be blamed.
More the
we
two
don't have
doctors that
hypnosis
suddenly
in this game,
appeared.
do we? Because I
are
could
going
just
to be
invite
blamed.
all of the staff to come at the hatchet to hypnotize this memory away.
The two doctors that suddenly appeared are going to be blamed for the mess in the study.
Wait, Jude, you have vitalism. Maybe you could actually hypnotize the servants that saw you, and the doctor and the priest are just thinking you weren't here.
Oh.
Is vitalism hypnosis?
Well, when combined with psychology, is it hypnosis?
That's the question.
This sounds like a stretch.
With a high enough medicine roll, would that be hypnosis?
You've got medicine, you've got vitalism, you've got psychology. Can Jude hypnotize these people?
Oh my god.
Does Jude want to try and hypnotize some people?
I mean...
Get them all into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Yay! Between...
What am I trying to hypnotize them up? That I wasn't here?
Yeah, make them
or
forget that you and
this
Eli
didn't
were
happen?
here. This can all have
they
happened.
can't see the ghosts.
I think that the pure stress of this evening will, potentially
Can you
permit
convince them
this.
that they all just need to go to bed and it was all a bad dream?
Yeah, couldn't I convince them instead that all
yeah.
of this was a dream?
Yeah, I think that's
Because then if we see them again and they remember us, they'll be like,
I saw you
"Oh,
in a dream."
I saw you in
Yeah.
a dream."
Can't believe we're going to
We're
wrap
gonna
up
lean
this
this
session
more on
with,
the-
and it was all a dream.
Yeah,
That's such
'cause I feel like-
horseshit.
I feel like this is a thing that this is a period where superstition was definitely a thing. Like people could have dreamed of.
Yeah,
others
they
before
thought
meeting
dreams
them.
are premonitions or something.
Oh my god, this is going to fail. I'm so.
I'm really
Wait,
excited
you've got-
for
I'm
it
thrilled.
to.
I'm really
I've
excited.
decided.
This
You've
is
got
so
loads
much
of dice,
fun.
it'll be fine.
I do, but
Jude
just gonna
decides
do the thing again
to
where I retype this a few times, pretending it's
hypnotize the
actual
priest
set of dice.
and the servants.
Hey!
So
Oh
many
my God!
successes.
Oh,
So many successes.
Okay,
3 whole
let me
successes.
set the scene here.
Please do.
Let me set the scene. Right. Okay. So als je them, we must quickly, vite.
Oh my God!
So
It's
I
Jacobean Men in Black.
I have kept all of Jude's because I don't think of Jude as a magical being at all. I kept all of his magics to being very limited, and I will ask all of the men to calm down and listen to my voice. I'll ask Eli to guard the door or something so that nobody else comes in. Whatever. And I will say the following. I will say, tonight you are in very deep sleep. Very, very deep sleep. And in this sleep, you have dreamt of many horrors. You have felt bad about things you have done in the past, where you have made mistakes and hurt others. You have seen blood and the dead people of the house. But it was... Hold up. But how do I say this that's not a lie? Let me think. No, I can think about this.
Oh, yeah, because...
Well, you can just tell them it'll all be fine. It will all be fine.
Yeah,
you'll have no memory
there we
of
go.
this.
Oh, I can say, this will not harm you. You will be fine. You will wake up.
And you won't see it.
All will be forgotten.
And it will be gone. All of this will be gone. So just go to bed. And speak of it no more. There we go. No lies. No lies, no lies. Jesus Christ. And while he's been doing this, his eyes were glistening ever so slightly. And that is it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean that on the psychology rather than the vitalism. If that is
I am
that
perfectly
is
fine with
okay.
that. Perfectly.
So
This was some
I think that's
damage
really
control.
I think that's a perfect place to leave it. After the sort of what is it in Shakespeare where you go somewhere and everything's weird?
Going into the forest.
Yeah, going into the forest, but it's
Into the
there's sort of
woods.
like a there's sort of like a term for it. Either way, this was that.
Inversion?
Oh yeah, this was an inversion. Robert Aldworth's estate was a very sort of like crucible of
I mean,
bad
you
things.
said that the beginning went way too smoothly for the ending to be, as smooth. It was inevitable.
I did like
So-
how we ended with a nice sort of like bit of ASMR
Yeah.
from Felix.
It was kind of
That was
stress
nice.
and drama and then kind of peaceful ending.
Everything will be
I
fine.
li- I like how this wasn't something that was just happening. We just arrived like the fucking horsemen of the apocalypse. Everything was fucking fine, and we just wanted to sneak in.
Literally, that's all we needed
And
to
we
do.
made blood pour out of the building.
That bloody cellar
And
was
we
already there,
fucked
to be
everything
fair.
up.
Oh.
And the gnomes
True.
were already there, to be fair.
I mean, nobody was seeing the gnomes, apart from one sneaky, very buff.
Little rogue.
I will now always mention the fact that Eli is dead.
Yeah, me too.
Eli really likes
I
that.
like to think of Eli as having a dancer's frame.
Ooh, yeah.
So like,
No, stronger than that. Maybe like a javelin tosser. Is that a
Okay,
thing?
so
yeah,
I have made some calculations.
he has indeed.
And I thought I'd leave us, considering everybody will now be going to bed and then waking up in the morning, with the hysteria value and public opinion.
Oh, brilliant! Give it to me.
Go on.
What's the damage?
So, I was so first we'll start with public opinion because it's positive news. You've made relatively good friends with very important people in Bristol, being the constabulary, the bishop, and your employer, Lady Anne Clifford. So I thought I'd give you a bonus to public opinion. So you're on one.
Oh,
So the benefits of that.
Doesn't the thingy boost? Doesn't the
Only for an
tantalizing
hour.
trees boost? Oh, is that only just for that hour?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So the passive passing of hysteria each day is going to reduce ever so slightly. Which is quite beneficial because hysteria, after quite a conservative edition for today, is now on 33.
Oh my god.
Oh God!
For day
Good
one.
lord. Good lord.
I think between the appearance of the creature in the chimney to a number of people, as well as ale turning to blood and spirits dancing
We
on
didn't
the
really go
graves.
Ale
Good
turning to
job,
blood
yeah.
twice.
Twice.
Ale turning
Twice.
to blood twice. And then a passive edition of hysteria for the issue of...
Good news, guys. At 50, angry mobs start turning up. So we're...
yeah, you're already on a
Oh,
pretty
God.
bad path.
Eli's
We're gonna
endless
need to
dances will
do
be
a
so
fairy
helpful to
ball
us.
of sorts.
We'll just
We're
make
going
a
to need
big
a party tomorrow, Eli.
We can do that.
So we're gonna end with the prestige questions. Oh no, I'm currently looking at a copy that is old. It's it It was a copy that was printed off 3 days ago. I'm
it is now
to a more recent, up-to-date copy.
Good.
So the first question that I will ask you is: have you learnt a new detail that may lead you closer to the demon's hand?
Yes.
Yes. The jiggery pokery of the merchant venturers.
Yes.
It can be definitely described as jiggery pokery, and I think we all understand exactly what's meant by that.
And we've got Swithin perhaps helping us if we successfully get him out of jail.
No, that's ally. That's ally.
That's an ally.
Save that.
I think you. I think it's tragic that you didn't focus on the gnomes.
The gnomes are pretty key.
Yeah. Also,
the fact that there was
gnomes.
There was a bunch of gnomes ransacking this guy's.
Oh yeah, so we know that the witch is elemental.
Yes. Yeah. Has command over the elements such
which
as
also
making living earth.
Or darkness, like bugbears.
So the working theory is that the creature in the chimney was a bugbear, or may otherwise be known as a boggart, potentially, of whatever appears as your worst fears and dreams. Working theory. Given validity. So you can record a prestige for that, as I agree that you have made some steps closer toward the demon's hand. Have you gained a new and useful ally in your fight against the demon's hand?
Swithin.
I think now that you've performed the task for him, we can count him as a new and useful ally, so long as we do not count him next time. So we'll need to make a note that he has been made use of this time. I'm currently scrolling down the relentless Google Doc of this game. I've got to chapter 5, 140 pages in, so I'll soon be where I need to be.
Yes.
Question 3, to be asked to each of you individually. Tanazart, have you formed a closer bond with one of your fellow inquisitors?
I can't say I have.
I'm not sure Tanazart has. Rumpert, and we're not counting Dog.
Balls!
Have you formed a closer bond to one of your fellow inquisitors? When Dog gets a rank within the Inquisition, we'll talk. But Dog does not have a rank within the Inquisition.
Oh, but he deserves one.
He deserves one. Dog's a good boy. Deserving of a rank within the secret organisation.
Rumpert and Jude, I think, are closer. He's slung Jude, so they've broken the physical contact barrier for the first time. And seeing as they've met before, I would say that, considering that's the first time they've touched, that is a milestone for their relationship.
We've also performed things together.
Yeah, we also did a joint little team up, which didn't go unsuccessfully.
How Jude, how do you feel about this?
Does it require my approval?
I think it requires your approval.
I was thinking that this time Jude spent most of his activity with Rumpert and Eli, but with Eli they split quite quickly. And really the first thievery was more of a solo operation. So yeah, I think they've grown closer, if not friendlier, just closer. They are more intimate with one another.
That was my argument.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yay!
I'll allow it. And so to turn to Eli, have you formed a closer bond with one of your fellow inquisitors?
No.
Not now.
I think apart from maybe the fact that me and Jude shared a extremely stressful situation where we had to deal with ghosts and hypnotizing everybody and blood, that might have bonded us a little bit.
I might have argued it was the double doctor.
Yeah, I think that's a real bond.
You were both sort of made aware of each other's doctorship.
Yeah, I like that.
Properly.
Either way is fine with me.
So I'm happy to allow a point there. And then Jude, do you believe you formed a closer bond with one of your fellow inquisitors?
Yeah, I would say yes. Both of them, both instances that you might accept traumatic in different ways. Personally traumatic to Jude, and extremely traumatic to everyone.
Yes, I'll allow it.
Tanazart stands alone.
Yeah, come on, Tanazart, make friends.
I think Tanazart
She gets an up in rank anyway.
I do, but I think if this question existed last time, it would have been a yes for Tanazart and Jude being stuck in that fireplace together.
Oh, yeah, there's no way you don't bond over that.
Breath.
Oh, yeah!
You can't get closer.
When you inhaled me.
Why do all of these this closeness seems to come only with, like,
It
intense
does.
breaches of personal space?
I don't see how I could explain that in a way that was sort of fine.
That's just how it is, I think.
Yeah, it's just his manner.
Best to dodge the question.
Best to dodge it.
Yeah, no close bonds for me. Maybe next time.
Tanazart's close with Jenny. Probably the closest out of all of us.
Yeah, I'm closer with Jenny and Marjorie than any of the Inquisitors.
Very true. But also, Piotyr has formed a very close bond with Bishop.
As they have not left to study.
They're enamoured with each other's company.
I bet he whipped out the spine old column, and then and the bishop was just really all for it.
Next time we should revisit his library so that Rumpert could evaluate his druidic knowledge against his tomes.
Yeah.
Was that something that we couldn't do last time?
Now that you know the nature of the witch's magic, you will definitely be able to start doing some fan research.
Yeah, that will be an all-nighter for Tanazart for sure.
Lovely. So great stuff. That was a load of fun. That was very silly. That last act was full of horror. So yeah, tune in next time, and we'll be here again. Potentially all of us, potentially with new folk, potentially we'll see. New Inquisitors joining the fray, who knows? A special guest, more Piotyr, who knows? I don't know yet. It's Christmas for us now. Yes, that is the time in which we are inhabiting. So you can find us on at Daemonologie RPG. Daemonologie is DAE and Ola J and then IE instead of a Y. Daemonologie RPG on all the socials. Email us at daemonologie@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Also, a thank you to Tasha Soffler, who gave us the music for today's podcast, and to Oscar Russell of Watchtower Design, who gave us all of our lovely designs. So thank you to them both. That's us. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone.